Ahlan, Si Mustafa, hello. I hope you are doing well. I hope everyone else is doing well. I don't know whether we have people who could hear us because I see that only Si Mustafa is, is around. Si Mustafa, can you just confirm whether the sound is okay? The voice, I mean. Basma, ahlan wa sahlan. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well here. Anyway, I would like to start directly, but please just confirm that you can hear me. Yes, Professor, thank you. First and foremost, I would like to express my sincere congratulations to the followers of your academic companion, and for many of them have submitted. Or many of them have managed to defend their doctoral theses. I would like to mention C. Mustafa Murshid, now Dr. Mustafa Murshid, Samia Mustafir, now Dr. Samia Mustafir, then we have Syed Islam Sqati, now Dr. Islam Sqati. Who else? In the click, there were Si Mustafa Burshid, I guess. I mentioned you. You were the first one, Si Mustafa, Dr. Mustafa, of course. Si Buknifi, we forgot Mr. Buknifi, now Dr. Buknifi. And just in case I forget someone else, please let me know. Thank you very much. By the way, if some of you are around, I suggest that we reserve maybe sessions with you so that you can tell us about your success story, so that the people who have embarked on a doctoral research project will benefit from your experience. Thank you. Yeah, Dr. Khadija Biddan as well. That's true. And of course, I try to select the ones who have been active participants, in the discussions. That's the reason why I did not. There are many others I know have defended, but I don't know if I have the right of mentioning them or not. But it's just that they have been active members of the of this in these live sessions that we organize. Anyway, dear friends, I would like to move straight to the topic. Our topic today is the research proposal, and as I said in the announcement yesterday, one of the reasons why I've decided to go for this type of topics is the fact that I have received a number of questions, as I said, both in the form of emails, in the form of private messages, asking me to talk about the research proposal. So the research proposal, cannot be honestly dealt with in one single session, because the aim of our live session is that it's going to cover a few points maybe in a short period of time, because it's summer, as you can see. I am sweating. I apologize. So I have decided to have a series of videos talking about the research proposal, and today we are going to talk about the title. Why should the title matter? First, the title has to have a number of characteristics for it to qualify as a title, and it's deplorable that there are many good topics, many good proposals, but because the title is not well articulated, excuse me, because the title is not well articulated, different professors, the potential supervisor will just ignore it. If the title is not good, it means what's inside is not good. Of course, this is not necessarily the case, but there are some students who probably leave the title as the last thing, and this being the case, their projects, to their surprise and to their dismay, to their disappointment, their application is turned down, or their candidacy is turned down. So understand, ladies and gentlemen, that the title is of paramount importance. The title is as important as is what you write inside that proposal. That's point one. Now, another reason why the title is important is that So as I said, it's the first thing that is seen. You know, when I take, for example, I just imagine myself over this period of time I've been a supervisor. You know, when I am called upon by the administration to consider the you know the proposals, I just look at the titles. Some titles, you know, cannot be, you know, do not indicate that the proposal is a good one. You see, so you just ignore it. When you go back to the text, some in many situations you have a text that, you know, a text, I mean the proposal, you know, it makes a lot of sense. There are hypotheses, research questions, etc. Of course, we'll come back to these points later on. But the title is just a failure, and it's not a good idea. But it's better to make a mistake in methodology. It's better to have a problem with a review, probably a gap, whatever, than to have those problems at the level of the title. So please be careful. And I would like to extend, you know, that's just an aside, but it's equally important. So apart from the title, we need to be careful about our cover page. I will talk about that in due course. Notice, please just bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that the proposal that you are submitting is not just a complementary document. If there is one document, okay, that people, you know, excuse me, I am sweating. I don't know. It's because summer and lights, and you see, it's very hot today, and I don't like fans and ACs. Anyway, so if there is one important document that is taken into consideration, into serious consideration, it's the proposal. And if there is a key, you know, element in the proposal that, you know, attracts the potential supervisor, it's the title. So you have to be aware of these things, okay? Another reason why the title is important, I repeat, another reason why the title is important is that it is in the title that your variables are reflected. It's in the title that the content of your project is reflected. It may not be reflected, you know, 100%, but at least the keywords are there. And I will give you examples of topics. Some of them I saw, some of them, you know, are close to the topics that the titles that I saw, and then I will make a comparison between what looks like a good title and what looks like a bad title. Okay, an attractive and an attractive title. So bear in mind the following: your title is the first thing that is seen. So you have to handle it with a lot of care. Your title reflects the content of your proposal, and by implication reflects the content of the whole thing, you know, of the whole thesis, of a whole study. So it should be, you know, a title that can be accepted among, you know, or in academic circles. Okay? Faut pas s'amuser à écrire n'importe quoi. So we should not just, it's not a joke. And there are people, I don't know, I as recently as last year, I went to see if there are any, you know, candidates to supervise, because I had, you know, a little slot there for 2. And then I found out that there are people who, you just wonder why they have taken the trouble to submit a file and other documents, of course, and type a proposal, and زعما واش منيتهم. That's the Arabic, you know, expression. You see, they submitted proposals. Some of the proposals are titleless, by the way, no title. My friend, how would you like me to you know, to supervise you, for example, when I don't know what you are after? Even if you write 100 pages there, but if the title is not explicit and does not explain what you are after, then of course the whole project is bound to failure. Understand this, please. So as I said, the first attraction, the face of your project is the proposal, and the face of the proposal is the title. So for at least for these 2 reasons, you know, attraction to the supervisor, because some of the supervisors, and it so happens, of course, different people have different interests in different areas. I can see, for example, when I see interlanguage phonology, I will be encouraged, very easily encouraged to flip through the project, and you see, so there are people who may not really be motivated to supervise, but when they see the title, say, this is what I'm looking for. So please understand that your title should be there, and it should be worked out such that it attracts supervisees. That's it. The second thing is that, and this is something you should understand, the title has to or is there because it reflects the content of your project, and of course of your thesis. All right, nice. So now, what are some of the mistakes that are made when it comes to these, the formulation of the title? Proposals that have no titles, you see, do not qualify as proposals, and they will summarily be rejected. I'm telling you, wherever you apply. Wherever you apply, when they take, your file and they look at the other documents, of course, they are administrative, you see. But what jury members focus on is your proposal. You see, so if they look at it and they find no title, no matter what you write inside, all right, there is no other way you can convince them. Okay, that's the first thing. Now, what should this title look like? And does it really take a lot of effort? No, it just needs required attention. Don't leave it until you make your way to the photocopying center and you draft something so that it will fill that space reserved for the title, and then you print out. No, you have to be very careful. Now let's just, I have jotted down a few ideas in relation to this. Sometimes there are titles that are too broad, and this is something you have to be careful about, my friends. What does this mean? Titles, sometimes there are titles that are good titles, but not good proposal titles. When you say, for example, the impact of English on the Moroccan society, this is very broad. Impact of teaching English on the Moroccan society. This is just a thought of example, but I saw examples of titles that looked like this. They are too broad, and they do not hint to any variables that the thesis will embark on, will investigate. So this is to be avoided. Too broad titles are to be avoided. Too narrow titles will be avoided as well. For example, when you talk about, let's say, let me provide you with examples from the field of education and applied linguistics in general. So when you have, for example, when you work just on S3, okay, so you say the attitudes of S3 students, you see, towards the implementation of Amazigh in the Moroccan educational system. This is too narrow, my friend. What is it that makes S3 students, a relevant population to target? So this is at the level of population, but it can be also at the level of variables. You see? For example, attitudes to the, look, I saw titles, by the way, like this. Attitudes towards the use of please in requests. Come on, this is a doctoral thesis. You cannot work for 5 years just to determine people's attitudes towards, you see, towards a word. No, this is just not even 5% of what you should be doing. Once upon a time, there was a title. I continue to assume that it's a weird title, but I will not say it as it is. I will not say it verbatim because probably I don't know whether the thesis has been defended, but it was attitudes towards an association association of some sort in a very small village. This is a doctorate. Attitudes towards something association in, and the village can hardly be located on the map. Come on, this is not a doctoral thesis. This is not a project for a doctoral thesis. I'm sorry. This. So the title should be not too broad, not too narrow. It should be a title that reflects a number of research questions, a number of objectives, where your variables are clear. That's all. For example, anxiety and its impact on maybe on learning vocabulary, let's say. Well, this is not too broad. This is not too narrow. Of course, I'm saying that spontaneously, but the title can be modified, can be bettered. There might be there's certainly a better version of this title. So we have to be careful, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just, it's good to provide examples of something. Yeah, there are some titles, unfortunately, that have, from which you can make neither heads nor tails. Titles that, just like that, someone is doing sociolinguistics, for example. The thesis is in sociolinguistics, and so I am wiping out. I'm using a towel to wipe out. I'm sorry for that. Okay, so a thesis in sociolinguistics, but applying the framework of optimality theory and in a small village again. This is an example of a thesis I saw. Not a thesis, but a proposal, and I asked the candidate to rework it. Again, this is not a good thing. Another mistake that you have to avoid, my dear friends, is that, or relates to the use of some of the sophisticated jargon that maybe only the select few would know. No, in a thesis title, probably you need to, not to use informal English, of course, but a title should be intelligible, should be understood by the average, by the average reader in the academic world, of course. Okay. For example, the acquisition of occlusivization, that's a process, of course, that is, who knows about occlusivization? Well, there are people, but it takes, a vested phonologist to know about occlusivization, for example. And there are some technical words. Avoid technicalities as much as you can, all right? Nice. The other thing relates to the use of not only technical jargon, but also some of the words that you think will attract people. Over the recent, years, throughout over the last 10 years, one of the buzzwords was ICT, and then came COVID and post-COVID, and then now it's AI. If you turn left, AI. If you turn right, AI. You look up, AI. You look down, AI. Why? Okay, and what is not a good thing, what is disappointing, what is deplorable, is that people, it's as though they are taking this for granted. You see, some of the proposals that I saw, they give the impression, honestly, that they have slept until maybe 10 o'clock and the deadline was at 12 o'clock, and they drafted that, and because they think that by merely inserting AI, they stand chances to, come on. The use of AI in the Moroccan classroom, I'm sorry, this is, it's not really, the use of AI in the Moroccan classroom is not a good title, because it's too broad and it does not include any variables, and it does not look like the title of a thesis. I am not saying that AI is not a good area to work on. On the contrary, it's a very good one, but this is contingent on whether the researcher associates with it the relevant variable, and this needs to be, of course, reflected in the title. All right. Yeah. The other thing, maybe this is point three, mistake number three that people have to avoid, please. Again, I am, these are the things that I have gleaned from my experience as an examiner, as a jury member. Sometimes, already, this appears also in objectives. You see, so because what is in the title is, is leading you into the objectives. You see. Sometimes, not on many occasions, of course, and that's a pity as well. There are titles that bear some value judgment, and for example, when people tell you that they will, for example, the ultimate truth about teaching, I don't know, syntax, for example. The ultimate truth, that's an overstatement. And as a researcher, you should not claim that you will find about the truth. Truth is a strong term. In the same vein, there are people who express this bias by, for example, saying, and I saw this, look, the advantages of, for example, I have a title, I have written this example here. Look at this. A title looks like providing the advantages or describe or exposing, for example, the advantage of flipped classroom instruction. You don't know whether it's advantages or not. Why are you, if you start a title like this, even if when you collect the data, you find out that flipped classrooms do not work for certain classes, you will be forcing, because your title says it. You got the point. So strong titles like that should be avoided. Proving or disproving in the title is certainly not the way to go. You are not there to prove or disprove. You are a researcher. Take it easy. Your job is to read about the topic ahead of time and get some knowledge about it, and see the variables that you will explore and try to make them to reflect them in your title. Proving, disproving, no, that's not a good thing. Or arguing for the advantages, arguing for, no, should not do that. Okay, so these are the things that need to be borne in mind. And maybe the last thing I would like to say about this is the other mistake. Sometimes it's unintended, and it's due to the fact that people are probably under pressure, and the candidates are under pressure. But when you are under pressure, think of the jury members. There are 3, sometimes 4, sometimes 5, you see. It depends on how each institution organizes that. And people will look at your title. If your title is full of mistakes, and I swear, I cannot accept anyone who does not know how to write a title correctly. Why? Because I have this trepidation that, of course, when I supervise this student, I will be hard put to correct his mistakes. I will be, involved in continuous corrections of mistakes that he should have overcome a long time ago. This is what the title would show. Even if you are competent and your title is or involves mistakes of sorts, then of course you do not really stand chances for being accepted as a candidate, as a doctorate degree candidate. So please understand that you have to know about so the use of the colon, capitalization, spaces, all those details have to be made provision for before you submit your work. All right. Some of you may have wondered why this professor is, reserving a whole live session just for the title. My friend, many research proposals were turned down only because the title was not successful. People don't have time to open and read. If the title is defective, then of course the whole thing is bound to failure. Therefore, take these, please, seriously. Okay. Very good. I have written a number of examples here, examples that many of them I saw, in proposals. What's happening here? Sorry. I have to delete this. Voila. I put them here in red. Yeah, for example, grammar, punctuation errors, hyphens, all of these things have to be, avoided. Now, let's look at these titles and point to their strengths and weaknesses. For example, the use of AI in higher education. The advantage of a title like this one here is that it's up to date. It's the topic of maybe of these days, of this time, a 21st century topic. Yes, that's fine. But the use of AI in higher education is a title that is too broad, and it's much of a cliche. It's you see. What is the perspective that you are going to use or to adopt? What's the approach you will adopt? What are the variables that you will explore? They all need to be reflected, in a title like this one here. For example, using AI in brainstorming, for example, using AI in self-correction, things like these. Maybe, it should not be too narrow, but not as broad as is this one here. Another example of something I saw, of a title I saw, is the language situation in Morocco, or analyzing the linguistic situation in Morocco. The linguistic situation, not the linguistic. Is this a good title? No, it's not, for the simple reason that this is an archy title that from which you can derive hundreds of theses. You see, so this is to be avoided. Please try to be realistic. Try to think of the variables before writing the title. Think of the variables you will investigate and include them in the title. Okay. And by the way, this is one way of asking you, ladies and gentlemen, to talk to your previous professors, to talk to your master's supervisor, to talk to a recently, a recent doctor. We have Simurshid, we have Ustad Samia, we have others. See, talk to them and get insights from them. There is no harm. Shof. Writing a proposal on your own is not a good idea. I repeat, writing a proposal on your own is not a good idea. Talk to people, ask them to evaluate your proposal, ask them to read it, add maybe their feedback, and things that like this will contribute to your submitting a proposal that is acceptable. I don't think that if you ask a professor to read, or a recent doctoral student, or someone who you think can help, if you write a defective title, he or she will point to that, even to language mistakes, etc. So please be careful when it comes to things like these. Okay, look at this again. Flipped classrooms in Moroccan higher education, we talked about that, but there is another one I saw. It's this teachers and students' perceptions of the use of technology. هذا هو لو تيتر ديال الكسالى. C'est-à-dire, anyone who wakes up in the morning can think of a topic like this one. They will not do anything. They will relax and travel, I don't know. And then when, they are under pressure, they go to ask 40 students and maybe interview 5 teachers. Oh, that's a thesis. No, that's not a good idea. That's not a good thing. This is not a good topic. Teachers and students' perceptions of the use of technology. What pedagogical contributions will you have? You see, so it's not really that. ما في لا تمارة لا والو. راه إنتاج خصها تكون شوية كم. Show us that it's a thesis that you can do only via hard work, not via you just have a cup of coffee in the nearest cafe, and then you will draft a proposal like this one here. I saw things like that. Teachers and students' perceptions of the use of technology. That's not good. Okay, these can classify as or qualify as areas of research rather than maybe thesis titles. Okay, So this is it maybe for the title. Of course, these are the essential points that I wanted to share with you, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we will have other videos. I see that I have 46 people watching me here, which is of course encouraging. I would love to see likes to this live session so that the video will be spread to as many people as possible. This is the only thing we can that I'm asking for. I'm not asking for any other thing than hitting the like button. So please do so, because we have 42 people here against 23 likes. That's a shame. نقولها لكم مباشرة حشومة عليكم هكا يعني at least a single click will not cost you anything unless you are, I don't know, I cannot say that word in Arabic, but unless you don't want, this life to, I don't know. People think differently anyway. So I'm really sorry to make this point. It doesn't take anything. أنا كان نلقى شي حاجة غير في التيك توك ولا شي حاجة كيعجبني topic encourage. Where is the problem? Where do you think Amrus will get rich with the result of this or what? I'm not for money here. The proof is that I have been asleep for 33 months or so. I just want to share. دايما الناس كيسحب لهم انا كندخل شي فلوس من هنا I don't know. So you hit the like button please, and life will be good. Anyway, so I will have other sessions with you inshallah. Maybe tomorrow. I will announce them anyway, because there are other aspects of the proposal that we have to talk about. After we are done with the proposal, I will answer questions from potential master's students. We will be talking about the entrance exam and the way they need to prepare for the master's program. Anyway, my apologies to our friends here who have written. I think I can respond later on after this live session, so that I will not be monotonous, because the long hours and the digressions in the live may not sound a good idea. Anyway, having talked about the title and its importance, my job, my mission here is to raise your awareness. You see, in talking about those pitfalls that you should avoid, I'm trying to raise your awareness to the importance of a title and of writing the title in the correct way. And of course, the title has to be relevant. So that's the thing I wanted to say. Now about the layout, of course, the first page, the front page, again, there is something to say about it. A front page, my dear friends, because I saw proposals again, where the front page is black, sometimes they write just the name of the student. That's all. I swear, this is the person who accepts this. If this is accepted, it's a miracle. It's miraculous. See? So a front page has to have the logo of the institution you are applying to, for example. By the way, I strongly advise potential doctoral students to apply to different institutions. You never know, because you might find a professor who is interested in your area, in University X, maybe because you desire University Y. I don't know. You see, so apply to as many as possible. If you can get in touch with potential supervisors, then you can do that. Of course, if they have enough room for accommodating more students, then that's a very good idea. Okay, so what else I want? There is one thing. Those of you who don't have an idea what they can work on, look, there are some voices that say, well, if you work on a topic in the master's program, it's not a good idea to carry on. No. I strongly encourage students to carry on with the topic that they have worked on during the master's program. You add one or two hypotheses and you broaden it, and this is how you become a specialist. It's a strong point. It's not a bad point. You see, build on what you did in the master's and deepen your knowledge and broaden it and broaden your references, etc. Increase the number of references. Maybe you can give it another perspective or an extra perspective, and then you will obtain a good thesis. So try to do it, and you will see the good results. You will spare yourself a lot of problems, a lot of trouble. If you start from scratch, it's good, but I wouldn't recommend it because it's a lot of effort. Starting in an area from scratch is not an easy undertaking at all. Okay, so don't forget, please, to write your full name, your contact information on the proposal, your phone number, your email, for example, because the potential supervisor will find it easy to contact you, perhaps, or or to email you, to maybe call you for the interview. So you do need that as well. So it needs a title, a logo. Just show that you are professional enough to be, given, to be admitted to the doctorate program. I have been contacted by a number of students, and I discussed with them the structure of their proposal, and I'm very happy I did, because I had to introduce a few things, a few elements into the proposal, and I wish them all the best in this regard. So if you have questions, if you have specific questions you would like me to answer later on, use this comment. I will read all these comments. Please, if I have missed anything in here, I will, schedule a live session just to answer these questions. Okay, Nafi', Bouhaddou, I'm really, really sorry, Nafi'. There is a question from you. I didn't have time to answer. I think it was in syntax. Sinafia, I strongly apologize, because that coincided with a very hectic with very hectic days relating to thesis defenses in different parts of the country. So I'm really, really sorry, Nafia. I will reconnect very soon, inshallah. My friends, thank you very much. 37 minutes is already too much compared to what I said in the announcement. I will read these comments, and I will respond accordingly, and I will schedule another live session to talk about the other components of the research proposal. Thank you very much, and I'm sorry if I forgot any of our followers who have recently obtained a doctorate degree. Again, I reiterate my congratulations to Dr. Mustafa Morshid, who is now a doctor, Dr. Mohammed Bouknifi, and Dr. Samia Mustaghfir, Dr. Al-Islam Sqati. These are the ones, I guess, who have been with us and who have recently defended their doctorate degree. I wish you all the best, my friends, and I wish all the best to the people, to the students, to the friends here who are in the process of finalizing their thesis. I wish them all the best, inshallah, and I wish good luck to the potential doctorate students, inshallah, again. Just take it easy, master what once you master what you are intending to research, everything else becomes easy, because when you master the area, when you have a clear you have a clear idea, you are clear on what you will be investigating. ما توحلش في title. I'm just raising the awareness, because some people think that the title is just a detail. Okay, so with this, I would like to bring this live to a close. I wish you all the best, inshallah, and then we will meet, inshallah, on another occasion. Thank you very much. Very soon, huh? Another occasion means very soon. Thank you. I find it difficult to end the live. Not cancel. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Okay.